Okay, so we're looking at example 10, which is again another example of finding those quartiles. So it says the following data or the following table lists the calories per 100 milliliters of 25 popular sodas. Find the quartiles of the data. So here's how many calories there are in 100 milliliters of the sodas. You have the 43, 37, that entire table all the way through 39. This is a larger data set, and what's even worse about this data set is it's not in order. So if I were to do this by hand, I would have to put all of these data in order, and then I'd have to find the median of all that data, the median of the first half, and the median of the second half. Well, guess what? I'm not going to do that. This is a larger data set. I don't want to waste my time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my calculator in this instance. Okay, so again, what do? I hit the data button on my calculator, and I put everything into list 1. So clear out list 1 and put all these data values into list 1. Then I'm going to hit the second data, and then I'm going to do the one variable statistics. I make sure that I have it listed as L1, and I have my frequency set at 1, and then I hit the enter on calc. Once I do that, I'm going to scroll down until I see Q1, Q2, and Q3. Remember that Q2, though, in our calculator is labeled as MED because Q2 is the median. So when you do this, I want you to write all of these numbers down. So we have our Q1 in our calculator. Go ahead and plug those numbers in. I'm getting, please double check, 39. For Q2, that median, I got 43. And for Q3, I got 51.5. I want you guys to note a couple other things here. I also want you to look in your calculator. I want you to see the min value, and I want you to see the max value. That's going to help us later when we do box and whisker plots, but I want you to write it down now because we are going to see this example again, and I don't want you to have to put it all into your calculator again. So 26 is the min value here, and 73 is the max value. Again, we don't need it right now, but we will need it when we do box and whisker plots shortly. Let's redo the exact same thing on example 11. So here's a list of data. Again, not in order, not nice numbers, a lot of numbers. Anytime I see this, I would straight up expect you to use that exact same feature. Use that calculator, okay? The exact same process that we did in that last one. So use the calculator. Again, you're doing data. Enter that data into L1, so do that now. You're going to hit second data for the stat, and then you're going to hit enter on one variable stats. Make sure your first one's at L1, your second one's at the word 1, and then hit enter on calc. I want you to scroll down, and I want you to get, again, the quartiles. Again, Q2, remember that's the median. And then I also want you to get that min and that max. Do that now and see what you get. I'm getting a min value of 7.5, a max value of 16.4. My first quartile I got was 10.8. Second quartile was 12.4. Then that third quartile was 14.2. So all this problem asks for is the quartiles. Again, we're going to use the min and max later, so I wanted you to write those down. So I want you guys to realize if we're using the calculator to get these, you have to be extremely careful. If you screwed up even one of those numbers or forgot even one of those numbers, every single one of your answers would be wrong. And because you've shown no work, I can't give you any credit, no partial credit, because you showed no work. So you got to be really, really, really careful. I'll try not to do too large of a data set on the test, so if you need to and you have the extra time, you could do it by hand to verify. But again, to do this by hand, you would organize all the data, find the median of the first half, find the median of the second half, and those are the values that we should get. Okay, so why did I have you write the min and max? I had you write the min and max so you could do a box and whisker plot. You may have seen box and whisker plots before. I see them in Canvas all the time when they try representing the data. What is a box and whisker plot? It gives you those 5 things that we just wrote down for the last 2 problems. It gives you the minimum, the maximum, Q1, the 25th percentile, Q2, which is the median, the 50th percentile, and Q3, which is the 75th percentile. Okay, so you're going to plot a dot at each one of those points, and then you draw a box from Q1 to Q3, and a line through the median, and then you draw the quote-unquote whiskers from the minimum to Q1 and from the maximum to Q3. So just put a dot at all 5 of those spots, a box from Q1 to Q3, a whisker to the minimum, and a whisker to the maximum. So let's go ahead and look at these previous problems. In fact, that's what we do on the next page, is look at the previous problems using the mins and maxes from the ones that we just did. So go ahead and copy down the mins and maxes Q1, Q2, Q3 for each of these problems onto the problems from next page.